You are now listening to the Artsindy Crossroads show. Here,
Mongero, Stargate Atlantis.
Nick, and if you personally keep supporting the film like you have, then it'll all go great. So thanks again.
Gary Chalk.
voice of Optimus Prime.
Transform and roll out.
Ruth Moody, the Wailing Jenny.
You're so welcome. Take care.
Karen LeBlanc, the star of Nurse, the fighter boy.
Hi, Nick. I'm really good, and thank you for asking me.
People in film, theater, music, the arts.
I like your Intergress because it's casual, and it's real, it's down to earth, and it suits Hastings Street right here, right now.
A good early evening to everyone here in the Valley. You're listening to Civil Radio 101.7 FM, broadcasting to the Fraser Valley from the UFV Abbotsford campus on the traditional and unceded territory of the Stolo people.
A good early evening to everyone here in the Valley. And we have a featured interview with none other than Nik Perry, who's going to be hosting the event Kraken Jokes comedy show tomorrow, February 26th at Lana Lou's, just off of Powell. That's 362 Powell Street, Vancouver, right next to, behind the police station, I believe. There's Main and Hastings, then you go down Cordova, then Powell, and just take a right, and it's right there. Very unique venue, very grassroots. Well, not grassroots, but it's a very intimate space, I should say. A lot of art, great art is cultivated in that space. Great vibes. So head on down tomorrow, and you're going to have some featured performers, finalists for the Fraser Valley comedy competition, among others. Nick Roy's going to be on the card, and someone else who I believe a winner, a finalist for another comedy competition. So we're going to get started soon and talk to Nick right away. But just a reminder that next week we're going to have an interview with Jared Tyler. He has a documentary out, the night the music died. So he's been jamming with his band, the Jared Tyler Band. He's still going back and forth between Vancouver and Seattle, and actually other parts of the States. He does a lot of stuff down in LA, and he's still coming back up north here to Vancouver, to the GVRD. But he hasn't. I believe we're gonna talk to him. I think he hasn't decided yet whether he's gonna move to the States permanently. So we're gonna talk about his documentary and perhaps his upcoming shows. You're gonna hear some music from Jared Tyler at the end of Nik Perry's interview. I'm Not the Walrus, a cover song by Jared Tyler. So let's get started right now. This is an interview with Nik Perry. So check out tomorrow's comedy show. That's 362 Powell Street in Vancouver. Listeners, right now we are on the line with Nicholas Perry, who's going to be hosting the Kraken Comedy Presents Kraken Jokes comedy show.
That's right, Nick. This Wednesday, tomorrow, I believe, February 26th, 9:30 show. The doors open at 9 o'clock. The show's by donation, so even if you don't have any money, just show up, enjoy some comedy in the downtown east side. If you're driving, lock your doors and leave nothing of value in the car. I have to say that disclaimer.
And that's
the comedy's funny. The breaking into cars is not sometimes. So if you want to train it, and you can do that too.
And Nick, it's okay if I call you Nick, or would you prefer Nicholas?
Yeah. That's a terrible way to promote a show. Hey, come down and enjoy some comedy. Get your car broken into.
It's actually on Lana Lou's Rock and Roll Eatery. That's 362 Powell Street in Vancouver. Nick, I'm getting confused because wasn't there a Lana Lou's further up on around close to Hornby and where was that?
I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I'm only familiar with this venue, which is on Powell Street, close to actually the Vancouver Police Department. So I want to reiterate, there's not a lot of car theft or car break-ins in that area because it's right next to the Vancouver Police Department headquarters. It's like a block away.
Oh, so like Main and Hastings, but if you go down and take a right on Powell, so it's close to Main and Powell, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yep. In the seedy downtown east side. But that's where culture flourishes. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, beautiful things grow out of manure, is what I'm saying.
No, you're right. There's tons of culture, and unfortunately, but through pain, art articulates its way through pain and discomfort and tragedy. Yeah,
it's true, man. We were talking about this off air. Like, we can either, a lot of things that are happening in our communities or in the world too. Like we could go real dark and cry about them eventually. Like, so if we don't laugh at them, sorry, I don't think I'd much rather laugh than cry at these things. So we try to shine a light on issues and make people smile and make people laugh. And we have a show that we do bi-monthly, every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. We have an improv show on the second Wednesday and a comedy show on the fourth Wednesday. And we also have an open mic and drop-in improv workshop. So if you want to get into comedy or you're an aspiring comedian, come on down and join us, and we'll give you some stage time. We'll put anybody up.
Oh, when is your improv? You said improv instruction, like people.
It's an improv show. I work with Garrett Duran-Moran of Vancouver Theatre Sports in Vancouver, and we put on an improv show, and then also we have afterwards. You go and stick around and do a workshop and games and activities. You can do that and kind of flex your improv skills, and we give you a kind of a platform to join us. Same with the open mic on the fourth Wednesday shows.
And the show tomorrow on the 26th at Lana Lou's, you said by donation, so
yeah. We don't like I said earlier, art and comedy is a foundation of us, in our communities and stuff. So if you want to contribute with a donation, that's fine. I don't really feel like charging right now. As if I get into a bigger spot or bigger, we make it more, maybe. But right now we're really just grassroots, man. So it's like whatever you want to contribute is fine. Just coming through the door. That's all we care about, is just having you there.
If it's okay to ask, do you have your comics? Oh yeah, of course you have some comics lined up for tomorrow.
Yes, I do. Well, Nick, you're going to be joining us.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll be on the show.
Very funny Nik Perry will be on.
And
hopefully telling jokes about Michael Jackson.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the listeners can email me later. Michael Jackson's been dead for. I worry sometimes. Maybe that joke is becoming outdated. Talking about Michael Jackson.
I think right now pedophilia seems to be pretty relevant, Nick.
Oh yeah, the documentary.
Again, we shine light on issues. We make fun of them. We joke about them, but what we're really doing is shining a light on them, bringing them to attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a bunch of comedians on the list. We got Garrett, like I mentioned earlier, Garrett Duran-Moran of Vancouver Theatre Sports, and also Alfie Roselli is going to be joining us. He just placed second in the Fraser Valley comedy competition out there.
Oh,
we also have the ruthless Robbie Kana come out from Surrey, and also edgy comedians Nick Roy and Elizabeth Stanton will be joining us.
Oh, Nick Roy's going to be there. Awesome.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people. And then also we have the open mic afterwards. So like I said, any aspiring comedians or other people want to join, we'll have stage time for you afterwards too.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I get to be on the card with Nick Roy.
Yeah, it's a bunch of Nicks. Of Nicks that's... I can say that on air, right?
I'll probably edit out. So.
That's all right. That's just a short form of Richard. My father's name was Richard, and his father, my grandfather, was also named Richard.
Oh, okay.
So I come from a long line. I'm not ashamed to say it.
The vibe I pick up from your events, the ones you put on, is it's kind of more inclusive. Like if you're respectful to others, which is the audience or other comedians, and you have something that people can sink their teeth into, something you've worked on, and you're gonna get a chance because
Exactly.
it's not always like that. It's who you know, and if you're getting more laughs than someone else, maybe you might not get the opportunity to get on stage, unfortunately. But
Well, comedy is art, and art is subjective. So people have different tastes, and it's important that all voices are really heard, man. And then, I mean, obviously the voices that I don't want to say the strongest or the most overpowering, but the voices that people want to listen to will get listened to. So it doesn't really. There's no point in censoring people or saying you can't have your voice here, because eventually people will just say, this is the voice I want to listen to. So we just provide a platform for all voices to be heard, and then, just like the audience is, respectful, or the comedian is respectful of the audience, the audience can also be respectful of the comedian, and hopefully not get offended by really anything, because these performers are not saying these things to personally any one person. They're doing it. They're expressing themselves. They're trying to put a spin on it or make it funny. And if it offends somebody in the audience, or if maybe a few people or a group, which is going to happen, that's art. You're looking for a reaction out of your audience, whatever it may be. But I think a lot of the times the audience has to be kind of respectful to the artist and be like, okay, I dig this or I don't dig this. That's my, and I'm as an audience, I am the consumer of this product. So the consumer dictates the market. If I don't want to hear this or I'm not interested in it, well, you're going to see that reflected in sales or clicks online or whatever it is. So we just give a platform for everybody to speak. Whoever gets received well, then great. And then also if the audience understands, don't take any of this personal, because it's not directed at you, and in general don't take anything personally, because I don't know you essentially. I know Nik Perry. I've been out on mics. I know you. We're cool, but I don't know exactly your upbringing or where you came from. I don't know, you don't know me. I don't know my parents. Your parents don't really know you. Let's be honest, man. You don't know exactly everywhere your mom and dad has been, in their life. They're not going to tell you every single thing. Your mom and dad got some secrets. So even the closest people you think you don't really know. And they don't really, really know you. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. And so if you get angry or somebody says something to you, you can't really take it personally, or you hear something as an audience member, you can't take it personally, because it's not meant to be personal. I can't. I don't know you. You don't really, truly know me. So I'm really come from the school of don't take anything personal, because you're just going to kind of get hurt. But it's hard to express that, or it's hard to have people understand that, because it's really hard not to take some personally.
Actually, the first time I met you, my Michael Jackson joke, I don't know, someone was offended, or maybe it was just a heckler who was, just kind of being a bully.
And well, that heckler too, again, took it personal. Maybe they have some issues. You don't know where that person's coming from. Maybe they had some issues where they were experienced or witnessed some type of inappropriate behavior like that, So they might have really they didn't even hear your bit, or they didn't hear your joke, Nick, but there was something in it that just triggered them to remember something from their experience of their past, and it became about them. You know what I mean? And that's where they're when you say don't take anything personal, it's hard not to do that if you hear something like that and you have an experience that you have, you take issue with. But again, just by telling that joke and by having that person feel that way, you are drawing light on this issue, and maybe it has to be dealt with, whatever it is, Whether it be racism or, pedophilia or sexuality.
Yeah. Nick, I haven't been at this venue. How's the setup like?
Man, Lana Lou's is it's in a seedy part of town, and it's kind of known for punk rock bands and rock, a rock and roll venue. So it's perfect for comedy, because it's got a low ceiling. It's got a great kind of vibe to it. It's got church pews. don't know. Somehow they got a hold of church pews, so you can sit in these pews and watch the show, which has a table there for you to eat and drink and stuff like that. Great selection of beers.
And they got a kitchen. Yeah.
Yep, they got a kitchen
Oh,
too, so
awesome.
we're serving food and drink. Yep. Piano there too, so like if you can do musical comedy or you want to drop in, like man, yeah, it's a nice little spot.
But it's really interesting, for artists in general, musicians, of course, comedy, live performance, of theater. The different venues have a different vibe, and it totally affects your performance. So it'll be interesting to get the chance to watch other performers and myself performing tomorrow. Like, I really pick up the vibe. The way you describe it, it's going to be awesome. It's going to cultivate a lot of good art.
Yeah, like I said, like you can, and we have different. If you want the pianos there, like if you have like a ukulele, I know that Nick, you do spoken word as well. Like it's kind of free flow, man. Especially with the open mic portion afterwards. If you just want to get up and do something, we're more than welcome to host you.
Oh, okay. So after the show, the open mic.
After the show, yeah, like so we start at 9:30, and then after our show, which probably goes to about 10:30. I know it's a little bit late on a Wednesday night. We're gonna have a late night open mic as well. So if you want to stick around and do something, you're more than welcome. And that's gonna be like a regular thing too.
Yeah, so people can do spoken word, and if they want, or even if they want to do music, like acoustic set.
Well, like it should be comedy driven. Like if
yeah,
you have,
that's
like,
right. Yeah.
Parody songs or satire or something like that. Of course, yeah.
Oh, Nick, are you originally from BC, like Vancouver?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'm originally from Vancouver. I was born in the region. Kind of bounced around a little bit. I spent some time on the island and in the Fraser Valley, but generally, yeah, from the region.
I don't know. Myself, I haven't got to check out the comedy scene in other parts of Canada or the States, like Toronto, but I hear the stories. I guess, sure, obviously you probably heard a lot of good things about Vancouver scene. There's certain arsenal I hear you develop here, like if to work on your craft, there is definitely an advantage in Vancouver.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is my kind of school of, school of thought, whatever. I mean, like, if you're going to do anything, like, do it locally, do it, like, in the community. And I think from there, things just blossom. Like, I haven't been at the comedy game for that long, just a couple of years, but I feel like, you get solid at where you are, and then you can branch out eventually. It's like any type of, skill or art form. You want to get good, and then traveling's always good. You're seeing different perspectives, learning from different people, getting your ass kicked, bombing. It's all part of the process, just like, any type of art. So what I've been focusing on is just in the region, in Vancouver. I go over to the island. I go into Alberta a little bit, just do some shows. But coming up in the summer, Kraken comedy. We have the Kraken Up, which is the improv show, and then we have the Kraken Jokes, which is the comedy show. And then in the summertime, we're going to have Kraken on the Beach, which is going to be a nude comedy show at Wreck Beach.
Oh.
So you don't want to miss that. You want to definitely check that out.
What are the performers going to be nude or?
Well, it's Wreck Beach is clothing optional, so you don't have to go. This year we did it for the first time, and all the performers were naked. I was on that list too, so showing my goods off and my comedic chops and flops. It was good. It was. It's definitely an experience. It's like you got to have a thick skin to do comedy in general, and so when you take off all your clothes, then you really realize how thick your skin is, because you realize like this is probably the most uncomfortable. You're laying everything bare, like literally. You're like there's nothing between you and the audience. You're completely honest in that situation, and I find the best comedians and the realest people come from a place of honesty.
Oh yeah.
So and truth, right? So you can't. It doesn't get any more real than telling jokes out.
Yeah, and there's you're allowed to drink beer on Wreck Beach, right? That's what I thought.
I have no comment on that.
Oh,
I don't know if
okay.
you're allowed to drink beer anywhere in public in Vancouver. Again, we got our priorities mixed up.
Yeah, you can't drink beer in public, but I don't know. In the past, I've heard people
You
sell.
can drink anything out of a water bottle in public. I'll say that much.
Because people sell beer, or used to, or I think still do, sell beer around the beach. Like Wreck Beach, they sell beer there, right?
I understand that there have been some proprietors of alcohol at Wreck Beach. Not licensed, from my understanding, but again, you're at the beach, see no evil, speak no evil. I think that's kind of a Vancouver kind of trend. I mean, even at Kitsilano and the public beaches, I see people drinking beer at the beaches, and the police kind of have a no see, no tell policy. So if you keep it discreet or you keep it in your water bottles, like, I don't think it's a problem. We're not selling beer. There's no beer sales. I'm not putting that out there, but
And if
it is cannabis friendly.
And if you're gonna drink beer in your water bottle, remember to rinse it out. I mean, fill it with water the night before.
Worst?
Huh?
That's the worst. If you've left beer in your water bottle
the day after. Yeah.
It's
like
rank.
fungus in there or something. What is it? It's like it makes you sick when you put water in there the next day.
Does it? I should know that.
If you rinse it out after you drank beer out of it, and then let water sit in overnight, so then the next day, then it's fine.
I'd run that through a washing machine, because fermentation or some weird.
Then it doesn't get. It takes a while to get it out. Then, you can use soap and everything, and then it doesn't. Just the night.
Water bottles in general, I don't know, they creep me out. Whatever you put in there, and then if you leave it somewhere for a couple of days, it never seems to be clean again.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's always a stank of something in there.
Maybe that's a good bit for comedy. If somebody can make a joke out of that. That'd be
People would love to listen to us talk about water bottles.
That would be
audience is right now.
That would be a Steinfeld thing. It's really annoying.
What's the deal with water bottles?
Yeah, totally. So, Nik, was there anything else you wanted to add?
That's about it. I mean, we got just a couple of friends that are doing some shows in Vancouver too.
Plug them.
Like I said, we got our show. We got our show coming up tomorrow, Kraken Jokes, February 26th at Lana Luz. But also this Friday, this February 28th, we also have the Comedy Ring, which is going to be at Lana Luz, same venue. A bunch of great comedians are come out to that, so check that out too. And then Monday nights at the Morrissey Pub on Granville and Davie Street, we have Comedy Lizard every Monday night, which is a booked professional show, and it's a beautiful venue, great beer specials. So if you got nothing to do on your Monday nights, come check us out at the Morrissey Pub on Granville.
Okay. No, I was just gonna add this my own 2 bits. It's not a PSA, but I noticed. At my comedy workshop, my 1 month weekend workshop I did a few years back, was always told if you're gonna go on stage, never drink when you go on stage, and
right.
Yeah, because I think there's, in my opinion, this might sound cheesy to you and the listeners, but it's almost a karma thing, because if you don't respect the art, then because I noticed I don't know, maybe it happened to you, is when you're up there and it's like you don't know where you're going with something, and somehow it takes a life of its own, and you get through the bit or you give something funny. It's like when you drink, you don't get that. You don't get that extra. It seems like it's some outside force, like it's not there when you drink and go on stage, because it's almost like you're disrespecting the art form, and then I don't know, it's just me, but it never works like drinking and going on stage. But for the audience, they can do it, and then
I totally support audience drinking participation.
Yeah,
it makes it a lot easier to be funny if you people are drinking. Some comedians, they for some comedians, comedy. A lot of comedy is like storytelling. So a lot of comedy kind of comes out of people sitting around and telling stories and joking around, and that often includes alcohol. So I understand, like, alcohol's participation in comedy and stand-up comedy, like other substances too, right? Like, there's people, to each their own. I mean, some people, you can only function so long. That's what I found. You can only, from myself and other performers, you can only function so long with a dependency on that type of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So eventually, if you're going to come correct and be real, you got to be able to do that without that type of push, right? And some comedians you've seen, or some artists, when they don't have that juice, whatever it may be, their art is not the same. So yeah, man, it's a rub for a lot of performers, and being able to just do it for the craft. And if it is what you are, then you don't need those types of things, right? But I also understand it's a public speaking platform. People need to get a little bit of an edge off sometimes to go up on stage. So with alcohol, or I've seen some guys smoke weed and go on stage and they're just like, wow, this was a mistake.
Yeah,
I can't remember anything. I can't do nothing. So it is, whatever it is that got you to be funny, if you can focus on the funny, that's definitely probably going to work better for you.
Yeah. So Nik, listeners, catch out Nik Perry's show tomorrow. That's at Lana Lou's Rock and Roll Eatery on 362 Powell Street, Vancouver, not far from the VPD police station. So no, what I'm saying is, you're safe. You're safe.
It's gonna be fun. Good times.
The Kraken Comedy presents Kraken Jokes.
Kraken Jokes
Comedy show, and open mic after the main show. Doors open at 9 p.m. and tickets. There's really no cover charge.
Nope, it's live donations. So join us, won't you?
Listeners, we were just speaking to Nik Perry. Nik, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Nik. Talk to you soon.
I remember it. My last night on Alexandria, all I said to you, and from the hills we watched the sun go down on Hollywood, up in Griffith Park, beneath the satellite. Took a car right out to Silver Lake, the side